Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining the second of our 5-part series on Spotler CRM. Today, we're going to focus on contact management and how we can make contact management easy for all of you. We'll show you features of the product that you may not know exist and functionality that you may not use. Should be fun. So today is myself. So I'm the Chief Executive of SpotlerUK, and I'm joined by my handsome colleague, Omar, who is Head of Customer Experience. The session today should take around 30 minutes, and you can ask questions in the questions tab as we go through, but equally we'll run a Q&A at the end. And similarly, we'll record the whole session, so you have the opportunity to go back to it as many times as you like. As I say, this is the second of a 5-part webinar series. So 2 weeks ago, we met with the audience and talked about all of the developments that we've made in the CRM platform over the course of the last 2 years. And today we're going to dive deeper into contact management, so show you some functionalities that may help you to optimize the contacts and accounts inside of your organization. The events build over the course of time, and then in 2 weeks' time, we're going to talk about how you master reporting. And then in October, we're going to talk about workflow and automations. And then last but not least, how you can get great campaigns going out of your CRM platform into your target audience. If you want to dive into any of those future subjects earlier than the schedule that's outlined here, then by all means, just get in touch with myself, get in touch with Omar. We'll be happy to run one-to-one sessions with anybody who wants to get into the future content sooner than the schedule allows. So the agenda for today is a few words from me and a brief introduction and how Spotler fits into the Spotler Marketing Cloud, or how CRM fits into the Spotler Marketing Cloud. And then we're going to hand you over to Omar, who's going to talk to you through some powerful features of contact management. And really excitingly, we've recently released a support agent in the platform. And although not directly related to contact management, because it covers the whole breadth of support that you may need on the platform, Omar will dive into some use cases that are specifically around some of the functionalities and features that he tries today. So yeah, we've embedded an AI agent into the platform, which is super exciting, and hopefully you'll find it useful. Sure you will. A little brief on who Spotler are for those of you who don't know us as well as maybe others. So we're a global organization with offices throughout Europe, one company with 5,000 customers, over 350 employees with most importantly, 120 engineering and developers working on our platforms all the time. So it's a fast-moving organization in a fast-moving market. We're constantly updating and developing our platforms as we go week by week, month by month. My role is head of the UK operation, and we have friends in the Netherlands, the Nordics, Spain, Germany, and also Switzerland and Austria, with customers in America and a business partner in Australia as well. So as I say, CRM is a central part of our Marketing Cloud platform. So everybody here today is a CRM customer, and predominantly CRM only customer. But just so you know, it sits within a suite of complementary solutions that may help you to drive your business, grow your business forward, or introduce some operational efficiency. So if you're interested in email marketing, SMS messaging, or WhatsApp messaging, we have integrated tools for that. If you run events, so an event like this, a relatively simple half-hour webinar with some online engagement, or whether you run in-person events and even large conferences, annual conferences, biannual conferences, the Spotler events platform that plugs into CRM will help you to manage those events, multi-stream QR codes for entrance into those events, etc. So yeah, but CRM sits at the center of that universe, and that's what we're going to be talking to you about today, specifically around contact management. So if I think about contact management and its purposefulness and its usefulness, so for those of you who optimize how you capture contact data and account data, it will give you a 360-degree customer view with all of the interactions, the activities, the tasks, and even the website behavior of your audience, whether that audience be a prospective audience or an existing customer audience. And also, the platform will enable your data governance, so you can build custom fields, you can control layout, you can also give certain users inside of your organization permission to some information and not permission to other information. So perhaps if you work in a multi-territory sales environment, or you don't want opportunities or contact information of one particular set of customers to be shared with another part of your business. And what Omar will get into today is how you can manage those custom fields and also manage that access control. Importantly, we have functionality built throughout the platform for the import of data. Customers acquire data all the time and want to append that data into their existing data. So we'll briefly touch on how you can import data. And you'll all know that when you import data, you often have duplicates and merge and records that need to be merged. So again, we'll cover the very quick functionality that we have built throughout the platform to enable you to manage that. Ultimately, when you've got a good contact data set with all of the activities and digital activities of those customers, then you utilize that data to build targeting and audiences, so you can be super focused in your organization with regards to perhaps the types of messages that you're sending to certain clients or the types of support that you're offering to other types of customers. So we will touch on advanced search, segmentation, and tagging, which is really the outcome of the foundation layer of good contact management. And then finally, Omar will also look at activity and task management. So how do you capture all of the interactions that take place with your customer base? So your customers, you may be talking to them, emailing them, looking at their digital activity, tracking them through events attendance. So we'll show you how you can build a real, as I said earlier, 360-degree view of those contacts to enable you to have the best possible relationship that you can with those customers at scale. So super good. I think if I was to summarize in advance of what Omar's going to show you, some of the commercial benefits. So you can accelerate your commercial oversight. So research will tells me that you can have a process efficiency of like 18 to 24% improvement in managing an opportunity timeline with your customers. So there's great efficiencies there. The platform will support operational discipline. So we remove in many respects the need for or the risk of manual input error. So if you've got role-based access to certain fields, you can secure information from one part of your business from another. But importantly, if you've got workflow automation, which is capturing data for you based on the behavior of a particular customer, it not only reduces the amount of manual input that you need to put into the platform, but it just ensures that the information that you're capturing is both in real time and super accurate, which then leads you to be able to make good data-driven decisions from the segmentation of your audiences, the scoring of those customers, and then customizable reporting of all of that data. And customizable reporting is one of the sessions that we have planned in the next few weeks. But as I said earlier, if you want to dive into that sooner, just let Omar and I know, and we'll happily run a one-to-one session with you. Finally, you have great agility with the platform. And what do I mean by that? You can customize all of the fields and the screens and the data that you're capturing with custom fields without the need to go to your IT department. Yeah, so we put in the hands of the ability to configure the platform into the hands of the users. So there's no dependency on third parties, us. So as I say, that's a brief introduction from me, and I will hand over to Omar and catch you at the end for a Q&A.
Thank you, Carl. Yeah, I will take it from here. So yeah, I'm gonna show you some stuff into the CRM software. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about record types, the user groups like Carl mentioned, show you where you can import and export your data, deleting and restoring, because that's an important one, of course, as well, and show you our new support chat with AI. So I'm gonna test it out. I'm gonna ask it some stuff and show you how it works. I'm going to show you a little bit about tags. It's a new module. It can definitely help you with organizing your contacts. And the last one I'm going to show you combination between our CRM and our email tool MailPlus, and how that can feed into your CRM to make it even better and get more data for your accounts. So let's dive into CRM. So I've got the software here. It's on the dashboard now. And let's look at accounts, contacts, tags, tasks, and activities first. A little bit of the basics. So accounts are all your companies. And so let's go to accounts now. This is where you can store all your companies. So every company that you put into CRM will be here, and below it will be the contacts of the company. We have some new features, or we have some good features that help you in organizing all this data. So if I go to the columns, I can now put in frozen columns. So like you see here, I put account name in the frozen column. I can grab any of these database fields or columns, and I can drag them up to freeze them. And if I do that, you see that the account name is here frozen, and if I scroll, it will always show. Especially with accounts, might be interesting, good to see, always see the account name. Another one is that if I go to the accounts, or go into an account, then there's a lot of data. And by default, you need to scroll to see all the insights and all the data. And the more contacts you have, the longer this list becomes, the more tasks, the more activities. You can now change this into a tabbed record view. So from one long scrolling list, I can change it into a tabbed view like you see here, and I can easily navigate from the details to the activities, opportunities, to the account documents without scrolling through all the data. Good to know, you can do this on accounts, you can do this on contacts, and this is a personal setting. So I've now changed it for myself, but all my colleagues still see the list until they change it. And I can also just change it on accounts. And if I go now to contacts, you will see that it's not changed there, and it's still one big list. And then talking about contacts. So these are all the contacts. The contacts are your contacts under your companies, under your accounts. So you have the top layer accounts, and then you have a layer below. Those are your contacts. So you see here, I have a lot of contacts, and to make it easier, you can filter on the top. I can click this filter icon, and I can filter by source, or a way more powerful one is filter by tags. So if I look on the left, I have a new module in the module's tags, and in one of my slides, I will explain a little bit more about it. But tags you can see as segments, and you can create static and dynamic tags. And with these segments, you can select them on, for example, I want accounts based on the location London and that they are prospects. So you create these segments, and then you can start filtering by tags. So here you can see that I have some tags already, and I can say this tag event, and I want all the contacts or all the companies that belong to that tag. So then you can very narrow it down and make it very specific in which contacts and which companies you can see. One other way to filter is by groups. So in your CRM, you have all your users, all your colleagues have a user, and you can group these users. For example, I'm in the Netherlands, Carl's in the UK, and we can group our colleagues based on the Netherlands, for example, and based on the UK. But we can group our accounts and contacts in the same way, because I have a list of contacts, probably all Dutch, and Carl have them all English. And I can say, I can view my contacts, but I can also say, I want to view my group's contacts. So from all my Dutch colleagues, I want to see all the contacts and all the accounts from that group. And we can even set it up in a way that this feature, all contacts, isn't there, that I only see all the Dutch contacts, Carl only sees all the UK contacts. So you can, from one system, you can really narrow it down and make sure that I see the right contacts, the right companies. So you can do it for country, but you can also do it with departments or divisions within your company, of course. So the next one is tasks. So if we go to tasks, tasks and activities, and they work really well together. So tasks are everything you want to do in the future. So you can plan some tasks for you to call contacts, or you see it here as well, or email somebody. And activities is what happened in the past. A good one, and especially with tasks, if you have a lot of tasks, you can now bulk update them. So for example, all these tasks I have done, I can now go to more, and I can bulk update them. This makes it very easy. I can do bulk update also with contacts, also with accounts. but I can do the status and I can say these are all completed, and then I've saved them. They're all marked as completed. All the fields that I don't fill in won't update, of course. It's only the fields that I've changed. But I can do this on tasks, but also on contacts or on accounts. So you can change whole groups of data, and you don't have to go in it one by one again. So this makes it all a lot easier to process your data and to change it. One other thing as well to help you with that is merging. So if we go back to contacts, then you see here that I've doubled data. For example, my colleague Carolina here, I have her twice in my database, and I don't want her twice. I want to merge her. So I can select one, I can click on more, and I can say merge. And then I can search for the other one, Carolina. Oh. If I write her name right and she pops up, yeah. You see that it shows me that I have the contact. I can select it and I can say next. And a quite nice thing about merging is that it shows the two contacts next to each other, and then it selects automatically one or the other side, but also where there is data. So for example, on the right contact, you see we have selected that one, but on the left side, their manager and city are filled in, and on the right side it isn't. So you can really pick and choose which data you want to keep. So I want everything from the right side, or I want everything from the left side, or maybe some data is different and I want to specifically say I want these, and I want these, and I want these. If I click merge, they will be combined and you will have one contact left. So if you see duplicates, then it's very easy to merge them together. Another thing as well is, of course, you can delete them. You can delete duplicates, you can delete accounts, you can delete contacts. And in a little bit, I go to the settings. You can also still restore them. So if you have deleted an account and you did it on accident, or your colleague says you shouldn't have deleted that one, you can still restore it from the settings. So the last one I wanted to show, activities. So these are all the things that happened. So here you can log your calls, you can log your emails. You can log digital activities on contacts, but everything shows here, and you can see all the activities from your contacts. If I then go to the settings and I go to data management, then here is where you have the recycle bin. So I talked about deleting. If you have deleted records, you can always click on the recycle bin. And if I click on it, I see the deleted records, I see the names, and I can select one and I can restore it. So if you have deleted one and you want it back, you can always go to the recycle bin, and you see your contacts, reports, accounts, you see them all there. Talking about data, this is also where you find importing your data. So if you have new data, if you're new with the CRM, you probably import your data. If you have an integration, for example, you probably don't, but maybe you get data because you're running an action or something in a different software, and you have an Excel sheet full of data and you want to import it. This is where you easily can do it. You can import accounts, you can import contacts, you can set the dedupe method so you can sync them all with the existing database, and it shows you what is new and what's going to be merged. You can easily export your data as well. So if you click on here, you can export all your contacts, you can export all your accounts. So that's the whole big bulks of data. From the reporting module, you can export as well. Then you can narrow it down and make it very specific. We're going to do a webinar about reporting. I think it's the next webinar we're going to do. So we mentioned, and we'll show it there, how you can create your reports and how you can export them so you have more specific groups of data. In here, we have integrations as well. And talking about activities, it's good to create your integrations with other platforms if you haven't done it yet. And one easy way is to do it by the mail sync here. This is an easy way to connect your Outlook, or maybe use Gmail, your account. So me as a user, I can integrate my account, and it syncs all my emails, my sent emails, and my received emails. And it sees if it can find a match in your CRM. So it finds the account, and it finds me, of course, because I'm a user, and it finds the account that you're emailing with. It syncs it, and it makes sure that all the activities are on the contact. So that's a very good one to have in there. We have a Mail Plus integration with our email platform, and I'll show you a bit about that in one of my slides in a little bit. So we have our accounts, we have our contacts, we have tasks, and we have our activities. The user groups we were talking about, you can find here as well. So if you go to user settings, here you can do your user management. You can create your user groups very easily here. So you can just click on it, create a new group, give it a name, and then you can start placing people in that user group. So it makes it easier for people to filter the accounts or to find the accounts of their colleagues. So before going back into my slides with the last things I want to show, I want to highlight our AI chatbots that we have here. So this is, it looks like a normal chat, but it is fed by AI and it will help you in finding the right answers. So for example, we talked about merging contacts. How do I merge contacts? If I ask it that, it will look in our help center, it will scan through all the articles, and it should give me an answer pretty quickly. Yes, it does. So not only scans it and gives it just a summary on the top, so how you can do it, it gives you the article as well. So you can decide yourself if you scroll through the whole article and read the article, or the summary is enough for you to help you. So let's do another one. When creating a contact, do I need to create an account first? A quite specific question, but I can imagine that that's something that pops up in your mind as well when you start creating or adding new contacts. And here you see it. Yes, you need to create an account first, because when you create a contact, then you can link them up together. And you see that it's very fast. It scrolls through the articles, gives you the answer right away, and you can read in depth as well in the articles. Okay, let me go back to my slides. I talked a little bit about tags as well, the tags module. The tags module is new, but it's a very powerful module. You can create segments here, segments, tags, but yeah, you can create static and dynamic tags. So dynamic is every time somebody, or you set criteria, and every time somebody fulfills those criteria, they add it to your tag. Or you can do a static tag. It's just a list, and you can add people to that list. I showed you already, you can filter it on grid views. You can easily add and create tags. You can trigger automations with tags. And automations is a very powerful module as well, especially if you go into contact management, because you might want to send automatic emails or notifications. You might want to tag and score them. You can all do this with automations. And not the next webinar, the webinar after we go more in depth about automations. So don't miss that one, because that's very interesting, because it can make your life a lot easier. Yeah, you see here, filter tags, assign tags. So really look into the tags module. You can create your segments, and you can use those as filters in other modules right away as well. And then the Mail Plus email activities. So if you have Mail Plus or one of our email systems, and you integrate it with CRM, your activities from Mail Plus will be synced into a CRM. So your sent emails, the opens, the clicks, the text is a bit small here, but I hope you can read it properly. You see that people here have opened, people have clicked. You even see the link that people have clicked on. You can click on the activity, and then it gives you even more detail. So you see here the UTM codes, so your Google Analytics codes that we gave to the link. You see the web page link they clicked to. So you see all the information, and this could be very interesting for account management to see which emails they've received, because you can see the preview of the emails as well, and where they've clicked on. And what you can also do with this is you can start using scoring. So every user can have the scoring, and you can tie with automations the scoring to these opens or clicks, or from specific emails, or for every email. And then you can start looking at tagging and scoring, and how many emails people have opened in the last, you see it here, the score of the last 30 days, for example. The score you can then use in your lists or in audiences that you sync with Mail Plus again, to make your email marketing even more relevant than it already is. And then we go back to Carl, because Carl is going to talk about some key takeaways.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Omar. I am going to talk about some key takeaways, and actually, I asked GPT a few days ago in preparation for this event, give me 5 key benefits or 5 top benefits of utilizing contact management in Spotler CRM, and really reassuringly, it gave us these 5 areas which we've touched on at the beginning of the session. So you have a single source of truth of all of your data. So once you're capturing every touch point of your contacts and your customers, their email correspondence, phone calls, digital activity, you've certainly got a central view of truth of all of your customers to give you commercial clarity. Data discipline unlocks scalability and compliance. It certainly does. So if you've got customizable fields, custom fields, role-based access, and you've got all of the bulk hygiene tools that Omar has taken you through, then you're going to have a good foundation for segmenting your audiences really effectively and also be compliant. And then segmentation and scoring. Ultimately, if you know who your customers are and who your prospective customers are, and you know how they're engaging with your brand, you can very purposefully target and spend your time and effort on customers and prospects who may be wanting to buy your services or would benefit from the support of your organization. Automation improves productivity. Of course it does. We're going to talk in a few weeks' time about how you implement automations on the back of the foundation layer of good contact data. And as I said at the beginning, not wanting to repeat myself too much, if you want to get into automation sooner rather than later, then just let us know. And then reporting is, I suppose, the visualization layer of your good foundation layer of contact management. So you'll be able to very accurately see how your business is performing, what your contacts look like, what the engagement of those contacts look like, etc. Apologies if the slide didn't move across there as I hoped it would. Last but not least, just to reintroduce our help center for all of you who are out there. If you want access to our help center, the URL is on the screen here. But as Omar showed you, we've now implemented a chat AI agent into the product as well, which should help you. However, there are people here 9 till 6, 5 days a week, happy to provide support to you should you need it at any point of your journey. So now I think we're going to go over to any questions. We are.
Yes, I'm back. Yeah.
You're back. Hello.
I'm back. Yeah, we are going to over to some questions, and the support you mentioned is doing a great job of answering those questions right away as well. But I do want to highlight at least one that has been mentioned. Paula asks, how long is the data held in the recycle bin? That's a good question. So when you delete your data, it goes to the recycle bin and it stays there for 30 days. So you do need to realize it within 30 days, or else it's definitely deleted. If that happens, you can always contact our support and see if we can, if we still have something in backup from that, and we can help you out with that. But by default, the recycle bin is 30 days. Then I see not a lot of questions, Carl. I see Greg giving us a really good idea for a new feature, so that's good. Okay. So if you have ideas for features, always voice them to our support. They write them down, they talk to our development about it, and if we see that it benefits a lot of customers, then we of course build it. But I don't see any questions more than that at the moment.
Okay, no problem at all. It's a relatively straightforward area of the product, but I think it serves as the foundation for everything else you're going to get out of the platform. So if you have any questions afterwards, drop them through to us. Otherwise, we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks, if not before, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you.